whole purpose of this podcast is to tell you that the next virtual mentoring luncheon is coming up next Saturday. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And for those of you who need the date, let me confirm. I believe it is June 26th. Exactly, June 26th. Right, June 26th. We're going to put Hey guys, Dr. Dale here. Really quick before we start this episode, I want to ask you to support our mission by doing one thing. Just subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or our podcast channel, whichever one you listen to. Just hit that subscribe button. The way our podcasts get out there is by you guys liking it, by subscribing, and of course by sharing as well. So if you do one of those things for us right now, we really appreciate it. We work very hard to make these episodes for you guys. We work very hard to get them out for you guys and just to try to uplift the entire community. So if you can help us out by doing one of those things, subscribe, share, or like every time. I really appreciate it. Love you guys.
Yeah, if you wanna go get it, stop playing around. Really got on Rex, ain't playing around. Wanna go get it, stop playing around. Really got on Rex, ain't playing around. Black man, white coat, shit, we up right now, yeah.
What is up, fam? It's Dr. Dale, the author of How to Raise a Doctor Wisdom from Parents Who Did It, the author of the Dr. Doc Children's series, the author of PreMed Mondays, author of Black Men in White Coats, and a new book that's going to be coming out soon. And this is a Black Men in White Coats podcast. Super excited to be with you all today. A little bit different today, a little bit different. So I don't have a guest, and the reason I don't have a guest is because I just want to tell one quick story and then talk about just one announcement, our major announcement. So it's going to be a very short episode, but I wanted this whole thing to be dedicated to announcing our upcoming mentoring luncheon, right? So we do these virtual mentoring luncheons. So I wanted to have this segment specifically to talk about the importance of mentoring and why we do this. So several years ago, I started Diverse Medicine Inc., a nonprofit, which was focused on mentoring individuals from diverse backgrounds, helping get into the field of medicine. And we started that over a decade ago now. And mentoring has been a very, very, very key cornerstone piece of everything that we do. We really focus heavily on mentoring with Black Men in White Coats, Diverse Medicine Inc., and diversemedicine.com. So with the COVID pandemic is when we really started doing this. We've always done mentoring online. That's what we're known for, virtual mentoring. But with the COVID pandemic, about a year ago, we started doing these virtual mentoring luncheons. And the idea really came from, we do virtual mentoring for a decade, as I've mentioned, but then the Black Men in White Coats Youth Summits, we always have these luncheons where we have doctors meet the students and we have mentoring sessions going on there. And we pair them up and do mentoring year round thereafter. So we started doing these virtual mentoring luncheons. We do them quarterly now. And the whole purpose of this podcast is to tell you that the next virtual mentoring luncheon is coming up next Saturday. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And for those of you who need the date, let me confirm. I believe it is June 26th. Exactly, June 26th. Right, June 26th. We're going to put the link to register down below in here, right? So make sure you click on that. We need healthcare professionals there to be mentors and students 8 years old and up to come join, elementary, junior high, high school, college, even med students. We need all of you all there to come get mentoring. We're going to break up into groups. Going to be just sitting there in front of your camera, bring some snacks, some lunch, eat while you're chatting. It's really going to be that simple. Now, the other part of what I want to do today is tell the story of where the word mentor comes from, This is important because, I do a whole lot of these Q&A sessions for the Black Men in White Coats documentary. I've spoken at I don't know how many medical schools, hospitals, colleges, libraries. I've spoken at so many of them here this year since the documentary came out. And one way or another, this idea of mentoring always comes up. So I always get, I don't want to say stuck because I enjoy telling the story, but I always end up telling the story about where the word mentor comes from. And it just struck me. I said, let me make this episode today only to tell this story. Short episode. Specific reasons to tell this story. So here's where the word mentoring comes from. And I think this is really important in order for us to understand what this idea of mentoring means, right? Because too often we use the word mentor, and I don't think that's what we really mean. So when we talk about mentoring, what you want to understand is even when we say we're having a mentoring luncheon, it's not really a mentoring luncheon, right? So here's the story. You might remember the story, the Odyssey. It's a story, probably read in high school or something, or if you're a youth, you will read it in high school or something like that, perhaps. Right, this guy named Odysseus, right? He's this hero, he's this warrior, he's going on this long epic journey, right? He's gonna go out there, and I won't ruin the story for you, but he's gonna go out there, he's gonna fight all sorts of bad guys, villains, fight the Cyclops, all sorts of stuff, right? He's going out there on a mission to save the day. He's got a lot to do, going on this long epic journey to save the day as the hero of the story. But he's got one problem. What's his one problem? His problem is that he's got a son. I pronounce his name Telemachus. His son Telemachus is there with him. So, hey, if I'm going on this long journey, I can't take my boy with me. It's too dangerous out there. So what am I going to do? Man, what am I going to do? I've got an idea. So he walks over to his buddy's house. Knock, knock, knock. Knocks on the door, right? It says, hey, mentor. That's his friend's name. His friend's name is Mentor. Stick with me, right? Because this is where the word mentor comes from. His friend's name is Mentor. He says, hey, Mentor, I'm going on this long journey, going to fight the Cyclops, do all this, blah, blah, blah. Going to save the day, be the hero, but it's dangerous out there, and I can't take my boy with me. While I'm gone, can you look out for him? Can you be there for him the same way that I would be there for him as his father? Can you help develop him? Can you help just really do the things that I would do? That's where the word mentor comes from. That's where it comes from. When you think about how important that is, to say, I'm leaving, you look after my boy, and you raise him the way that I would raise him. You be there for him the same way that I would be there for him. That's huge. That's huge. That means I'm taking on the responsibility of your success. I'm putting your success on my shoulders. If you're not successful, that's on me. That's what the word mentor, that's where it comes from. That's what it's supposed to be. So when we use this term mentor, and we use it, kind of so lax and so willy-nilly, oftentimes we say mentor, but what we really mean is advisor. Like this mentoring luncheon we're doing. Really, we call it a mentoring luncheon, but if I'm being honest, it's more like an advising session, right? That's what it's really like. But the idea is that we hope you can get mentors from it, right? You meet people, we hope it's a big networking advising session. You hear our stories, we talk to you, we have a good time. It's a great time. And those of you, I'm telling you, show up for it. We all have a great time always, right? But afterwards, we hope that you make these connections that you can build relationships from. That's the whole idea behind them, and we do them every quarter. But that's where the term mentoring comes from, really, right? So it's not advising, it's not counseling, it's not coaching, right? It's a unique thing, mentoring. Mentoring has a lot more responsibility that comes with it. And what we really want in the field of medicine, other fields, but specifically medicine is my passion. That's what we do. Black men and white coats, diverse medicine, etc. We want mentors in the field for our youth, the next generation. Mentors to the truest sense of the word. That's what we want. All right, fam, that's what I wanted to share with you all this week. So I'm taking a little break from the norm because I really wanted to take a moment to focus specifically on our upcoming mentoring luncheon. We're going to put the link down below in the description. Click on it, register, be there at this lunch. We're going to have a great time. Trust me, we're going to have a great time. Space is limited, so not everybody's going to be able to get in there, right? So register early and show up early on that day, all right? Remember, the time zone is going to be Eastern time. A lot of people usually show up an hour or two late, and they're like, it normally goes it's scheduled to go for an hour officially, but typically it ends up running for 2 hours because people stay on and they always want to chat longer, right? But we always get people who show up and they say, oh, I didn't get the time zone right. So it's Eastern time zone. Show up for it. It's going to be a great time. Go ahead and register for it. Look forward to seeing you all there. So next week, next podcast episode, we'll get back into the regular stuff, and we'll have some good stuff for you guys. One of the things that we're about to release is, again, Kaplan is partnered with us, and we're going to be giving out MCAT book sets that I think are worth like $250 a set. We're going to give out probably 100 of them or something, right? So that's what we got for you guys this week. That is where the word mentoring comes from. I wanted you guys to know it, and want you all to register for a mentoring luncheon. If you're a student, if you're a healthcare professional, if you're an educator, anybody who's just willing to contribute or be a part of or get knowledge. All right, guys. Love you guys. Have a phenomenal week.
I want them band like a daddy, yeah. Oh, let's do it like Flagger, yeah. I'm kicking flavor, no saga, yeah. Hey, I like them blues. I might go Janet like Jackson. I got them options, yeah. It's all about progression. Life is like a blessing. Everything a win, loss is like a lesson. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, ain't no time for stressing. I've been really stepping. Ooh, ooh.